Hello again everybody, Mark here, and today I'm taking a look at a hand from the Sensational Blinds tournament on Replay Poker. The Sensational Blinds tournament has a buy-in of, I believe, 3,000 chips. Yeah, it is 3,000 chips. And the blinds here on this level are 6,000, 3,000, with a 600 chip ante. Let's talk about positions here. I, Mark978, am on the dealer button. And Trimble is on the small blind with 3,000. And Okana, I don't know how to pronounce this user's full name, but he's on the big blind with 6,000 chips. So let's take a look now at what cards we are dealt. It should be an interesting hand. 10 Jack. 10 Jack is our hand. Offsuit, Jack of clubs, 10 of spades. And now that I'm looking back at this hand, I realize I only have about 8 big blinds starting this hand. So already looking back at this hand, I think the reasonable thing to do would be to go all in, but that is not what happens here in this hand, I can tell you that much. So let's take a look here at the pre-flop actions. This is a 6-handed table, by the way. Berlin folds, I call, Antrimble calls, and Okana checks in the big blind. And the board here is 9 of diamonds, 10 of hearts, and Queen of spades. So there are a lot of straights that can come here on this board. I have the 10 jack, so two things in my mind are either the 7 to jack straight or the 10 to ace spade. Of course, so I need a few more cards to hit for me, but so far it's a good thing. Plus we paired our 10, by the way, so that is good for us. And we have the jack, so I think hopefully if more cards that come for us, hopefully we can get a good pot going here. So Antrimble checked, Okina checked, and I bet on the dealer button, and a call from Antrimble. The reason we bet here in this situation, we power our 10, and like I just mentioned, we're getting close to a straight, so why not bet and try to build the pot up, especially when we started this hand with 8 big blinds. So I think the correct play, looking back on it, is to just ship it all in here, go all in. But nonetheless, we're still trying to get some big blinds. And let's see, Okina calls. This could be an interesting card for us in 2 of hearts here, because now straights are flushes are possible with the 10 of hearts and 2 of hearts on the board now. One of these players could easily be holding a heart, playing for a flush maybe. Of course, you can see from my cards though, we don't have any hearts, so it's not an ideal situation with the heart now on the board. But in most cases, we're pretty good here because we do have a pair. So, and I don't think a lot of the time people are just trying to gamble in this situation only by having a flush draw, a 4-card flush. So I think, well, let's take a look here at what we do. It's a check from Antrimble and a check from Okina. And wow, so that's interesting nonetheless. I only checked on the turn and a jack of spades on the river, so now we have 2 pair. Flushes didn't get there that we were worried about, so we have 2 pair. And I think looking back at this, I should have bet the turn, should have gotten it all in maybe, but it's interesting, but now what possible cards, though, can Ant Rimbill have and Okana have? They could have possibly under cards, lower cards like pair of sevens or eights. Could have all over cards. Could have something similar to what we have, a 10 or a jack in their hands, or queen king. But I think if you have the queen, you're going to be betting out here, trying to make the pot bigger, because you're most times ahead with the queen, since there is a queen on this board. And it's just difficult to try to put players, at least from that I've seen in the past, it's difficult to put players here on hands. But I don't know, I don't think in this situation they're gonna have it on a 9-10 queen 2 jack board, just because they've been playing it, I don't know, I'm not gonna say lightly, but the board, I mean, everybody checked on their turn, so they're either trying to really disguise their hand or they just simply do not have it. Let's take a look now at the river actions. And Trimbill, that's 10,000, fold by Okina. So what should I do? Should I call here? Should I raise? This is the question of the hand, folks. Should I raise this river bet, or should I just flat out call it and take the showdown with 2 pair, queen jack? It's interesting because Ant Trimbill is only betting about 4K more than what the big blind is, so big blind is only 6,000. Plus, he does have a big chip advantage over me. He has 169,000 chips. We'll only have 35,000, so it's a good, interesting. I think he's trying to get me off my hand since I'm so short stacked, but it's kind of hard to tell though, because he could just be bluffing and he has chips to spare. So I think a lot of times he could be bluffing here. He could possibly have the queen, or maybe he does have a pair of jacks, who knows, in this situation. But what should I do? I think, looking back at this hand, like I said at the start of this episode, now realizing that I only had at the start of the hand 8 big blinds roughly, I think the correct play from the start would have been to just go all in on the flop. But yeah, this is the question of the hand. Should I have raised it or just called? Let's see what happens. I called the 10,000 chip bet. Look at that, that's interesting. Ant Trimbill is only showing 3 ace, 3 of clubs, 3 of diamonds. Oh, he didn't really have it? Not really. I don't see how. I mean, if he had ace king, he could have been trying to set up the straight, which I think he would have had. Let's see, 10, jack, queen, king. Yeah, he would have had a straight if he had the king. But I think because he had such a big chip advantage and really didn't have anything, I think that's why he decided to bet out there. Try to take the risk, take the gamble, see if he could get me off my hand. But on the good side of things, we do win 59,000 chips, which is always good. Helps build our chip stack back up. And so yeah, I think it's a good bluff by him and Trimbill. And it makes for interesting, analysis in my opinion. So yeah guys, with that being said, that's going to do it for this hand review. I hope you all liked the video. If you do, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. If you want to play with me on Replay Poker, my username is Marc978. And I will see you all again next hand review. See you guys later.